Hey everyone, welcome to what was supposedly going to be my first impression video of the Jiegle plastic. However, to be honest, I received this Ocarina 2 weeks ago, and I played around with it a few times, so it's not really a first impression video anymore, is it? So, I'm gonna make it a Jiegle plastic review overview kind of thing. So, yay. Okay. Why do I always make everything awkward? Anyway, so before I get into this whole thing, I want to make a shout out to Cameron, which is one of my Patreon supporters. He's actually the one that gifted this ocarina to me. He knew I wanted to try one of the plastics, and he was like, "Oh, give me your address, and I'm gonna send it to you." So, thanks, man. I really appreciate it, and it's thanks to him that you guys get this video. Now to get into this Jiegle plastic triple review. I'm gonna do this very quickly. I want to get to the point. I'm gonna start with the positives, seeing that I've used it for a week or two now. The sound, and I'm gonna insert a different clip here right now. So, as you can hear, the triple has a now sound. No, it has a nice sound throughout the whole range. There's nothing really like where I feel like, oh, this is off, or this feels bad, or the breath curve is kind of annoying. No, it pretty much smoothly follows up to the high end, and I don't really have any issues, which is honestly the most important thing about, an ocarina, is the sound and how it plays. And it plays well, and it sounds okay. But it sounds good. For plastic, it really sounds good. Of course, you can't compare it to an expensive, triple ceramic ocarina. I mean, it's a cheap plastic. But it sounds really good for it. Next positive point is that, well, it's plastic, so it's very sturdy. For any beginner, I mean that it's a very positive point. When I started 10 years ago, I had a ceramic ocarina of like $400 or $500, and at first you're not really sure how to properly hold it. So if you drop it once, that could be the end. So having a plastic is pretty cool. Like back in the day, we only had one plastic, I think, and I'm not even no, it might have even been out yet. But there was one plastic from TNG, and back then it wasn't that good. However, now they've improved a lot, and those are actually pretty nice plastics as well. However, they use a different fingering system, which I'm not a big fan of. So I modified mine to the system like this one. And that is actually the next positive for me, is that it uses the Icarus thumb hole system on the second chamber. For anyone who doesn't know, the difference is that originally the triple had a thumb hole on the second chamber, and that was made by Icarus on the triple, and originally, even before that, by Aketa on a double. And it's a system that I highly prefer over the system that came after with the double fingering on top. The reason is that I don't like sliding my finger, and the next reason is that with a thumb hole, you have a lot more options to play flats and sharps and do alternative fingerings and stuff like that. So having it here, positive point. Next point is, it actually comes in a lot of different colors. While I didn't pick mine because it was gifted to me, it does come in a lot of different variations, which I think is cool. So even if you have like a cheap plastic, you can kind of make it more personal and find your choice, and I think that's really cool. Other point that I really like is that, well, it's cheaper. Because like I've said, my original triple was like 400 or even $500, and this is like in Japan. When I saw it online, it was like 10,000 yen, which is about $100 or maybe 80 euros. And I've heard that if you buy it directly from China, it's even cheaper. But it's a bit of a pain to order directly, but it's doable. So it's a lot cheaper to begin with, which I think is a good point as well to get more people into the world of Triple Ocarina. Um, I think those were the positives, and now I'm gonna go into the negatives. And I think it's more important for me to go into that part of it, because most of you know me as the professional triple player. So to give my negative points on it is gonna give a maybe better view of my view. You know what I mean? It's gonna give you a better view about the whole thing. First negative point: the size. This thing is huge. I mean, um, I play a lot of Icarus, which is like the smallest triple that there is. So that is like, it's not even comparable. It's like, I mean, it, it's double the size. But of course, an Icarus is very rare and it's not the common size. But for example, the Night Binople ceramic triple, even then, in comparison with that, this thing is huge. And the problem with that is that when you're playing, you're really extending your fingers a lot. And this is more tiresome for your fingers and actually makes it a bit slower, I feel, because when you claw like this, it's very quickly, like it's very fast. If you're stretching it, it's gonna be a bit more difficult. However, it's something that you can get used to, and I have short fingers, so for me that's maybe a bigger issue than someone with long fingers. So I think that is a negative point for me. Another negative point is that because it's so big, it also weighs quite a lot. It's plastic. I'm not sure how much it weighs. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. I'll weigh it after. But it's pretty hefty for a plastic ocarina. While you would expect it to be lighter, it actually isn't that much lighter. My Icarus is lighter, I feel. Yeah. And even the Knight is heavier, but even like it's not that. I feel like it's such a big difference for plastic. So the weight, while it's not a huge issue if the balance would be good, but the balance on the design isn't that amazing. If you ever watch my Night by Noble video, you noticed I was talking a lot about the balance, and look how easy it balanced in between my fingers, and it requires no like pressure really. It's really relaxed, and this is very like it feels very comfortable to play, especially for a longer time. Because the index finger, my camera stand just turned off. I was using the stabilizer. Okay, so let's cut the video for a moment, and we're back. So I kind of confused where I left off, but I think I was talking about the balance. So while the Night by Noble is kind of heavier, it balances really nicely, and that doesn't require a lot of effort here. But when you play here with the plastic, it's a bit more like it's already shifting to the left because of the weight, and the thumb hole and the index finger are not centered, which means your ocarina is kind of, no, I can't do the same thing here. So that's kind of a bummer. However, if you're playing with two hands, which you usually do, it's okay, but it does add a little bit of stress on your thumb and your index finger. So for anyone that has issues with their hands, it's something that you might notice. Okay, next point is the most important. Well, it's a point that I've noticed even before I received it. Is look at the tuning holes here. They actually made tuning holes on the last chamber at the thumb area, and that is something I've seen for the first time. Well, sure, there are tuning holes here, it's not gonna be hit by your thumb. You're not gonna put your thumb here. That just doesn't make sense. However, here they placed it where you can actually put your fingers and move it over. And while you can use that tuning hole to play different fingerings and go lower on the last chamber in comparison to a normal triple, I feel that the negative thing of it, of you, especially as a beginner, maybe sliding your finger too far and hitting that tuning hole and messing up your song, is a bigger negative than the positive of maybe sometimes using a different fingering on that last chamber. However, if you play and you slide your finger here and you stop here, it's perfectly playable and you're not going to cover it. So if you stop here, it should be okay. Because of the design here, your thumb should stop here. However, I do think it's something that wasn't the best decision on their part. I know why they did it, because of the molding. They couldn't place it here because the ocarina is folded like this, and they couldn't make a proper tuning hole here. So I know why they put it on the bottom, but I would have preferred them to kind of move it around and find a different position. So that's another negative point. And I think the last negative point that I want to say is that the painting is already going off. And I received it like this. I don't know how long it got used before, but it's kind of like sad if the painting is getting off when you're probably gonna toss this thing around because it's a plastic and you're gonna use it a lot. You're not really gonna put it in a hard case, so it's kind of sad that the paint is, you know, going off. On mine here, because of the color design, it's not really noticeable, but on some of the colors, it might be something that you notice pretty quickly. So that's the negative point. So, I think, another thing, another negative point. I'm going really negative today. I don't know what I'm doing. The mouthpiece is rather wide. And while the spacing between the chambers isn't that much different from a Knight by Noble triple, the side here does have a wide space, which means on the first chamber, you kind of have to extend your mouth over it, and this can cause some issues when trying to play fast or changing chambers, because it is a small small distance that gets added to the whole thing. And while it's okay when playing one chamber at a time, when you're playing two chambers, it can be kind of a hassle. But it's something you can get used to rather quickly, which I did like the moment I picked it up and I noticed it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to do it a bit differently, because I love Icarus design, which is just like really, really small and easy to switch. So yeah, that's, I think, the last negative that I wanted to point out. So let's get to the conclusion. I'll sum up all the negatives and positives again. Positive, it plays nicely. It has a nice breadth curve. There's nothing really off. It's very like durable. It's plastic. It's cheap in comparison to a lot of triples out there. It comes in a lot of different colors, which makes it like fun to have if you're interested in some colorful stuff. So those are the positives. Negatives, it's really big and wide, which is a bit more annoying to play. It has a wider mouthpiece, which is also a bit of a negative. Then the tuning hole here, which is kind of awkwardly positioned, and the paint is, you know, like going off rather quickly, which is like a small bummer as well. And yeah, and another negative point that I should point out is that, of course, like any plastic, there's gonna be condensation issues. So if you're playing for a long time, yeah, it's gonna get wet and stop making proper sound. But that's something you just can't avoid with plastic at this moment. You just blow it out and it's done. Now, to go to the real conclusion of this whole video, would I suggest you to get one of these? And to be honest, yeah. If you're interested in a plastic triple and you've been thinking about trying one and you're able to get your hands on this, give it a try. It's a good ocarina. It does have its negatives, but it's cheap, it's good, and it's just fun to have. Like, I mean, I noticed myself, like, I had it in my backpack and just, but I always have an ocarina in my backpack. I mean, I always carry one. And I think for anyone that wants to get into ocarina, but doesn't maybe have enough cash, worries about, breaking it or anything like that, give it a try. It's a good starting point, and I hope a lot of people get into the beautiful world of triple ocarinas, because I hope more people will enjoy like the fun of being able to play these. Like I've been having fun. So yeah, get one. Be it this one or even the STL or TNG one. Like, if you're interested in a plastic triple, there are options out there now that do the job pretty good. So, I'm gonna add some clips at the end of this video with samples, so you can hear my recording like done properly. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. It's probably gonna be a long video again like usual, because I keep on rambling. So yeah, see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and thank you again to Cameron for sending this ocarina. Yeah, love you all. Take care. See ya.